Well, hello, my big walking friends. How's everyone doing?
I'm ready
Walking
to
it.
take some big steps in this
I go
relationship.
for a walk today. Sounds great.
Hey, you ready for a big walk? You want
I'm going
to
to start with a small walk instead, please.
Bakalar,
Take a
are you a
pretty-
walker?
Yeah, I like to walk. I think I miss walking for my commute. I miss commuting. I'm more of a skater
sure.
than a walker these days, and I have to say I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud.
Shouts out
It's
to
okay.
Paul Walker.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Listen, I got to play about an hour of Big Walk. That is the follow-up effort from House, our Australian friends who are behind Untitled Goose Game. Remember that?
Oh,
They made that goose.
Wow.
They
Yeah.
had a quack button. Quack
They
or
gave
honk? Honk button.
Honk. Yes,
Yeah,
honk.
yeah.
It's a honker button.
Right.
They gave us that goose, they gave us that honk, and now they're giving us basically an open world 2 to 12 player experience that
Jeez.
is pretty unique for considering there's been a deluge of these kinds of games lately. I think this stands on its own in a really interesting way. I've got a bunch of footage that I captured from our preview playthrough session that will start running now, and we can all talk about it together and ask me questions about this. Sounds like we only really scraped the surface of what this thing is.
Jeff,
Yeah, my thought is like, people throw around friend slop. I'm
Yeah.
not necessarily saying this is what this is or defining it, but
It
like
is, and
a
it's
lot of
good
those.
thing.
I like friend slop.
Yes.
But I think a lot of those games are kind of a one-trick pony where it's like, here's the funny thing. And then you do it and you see it and like, well, they're all going to be some variation on this. Based on the stuff I have seen of this game, it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on here. Like maybe more variety than your average quote-unquote friend slop.
There's a lot more. You're going to hear my voice too in some of the capture because it's my voice, and then all of the folks that we played with. It was a lot of people from Polygon as well. So yes, Dan, there's a lot more layers under the surface here, and the sort of dimensionality of like what the experience is, right? So there we had this like Q&A in the game with the developers at the end, and they were talking about how this was born out of lockdown. It was a game born out of like COVID lockdown, and that kind of desire to like meet in a space and like have a thing. So I think just that on its surface, with that being the kind of like propulsion behind the energy of the game, is just giving me the impression that like, oh yeah, this is not a thing where you're just going to do goofy shit with a bunch of people and kind of laugh at it. There's certainly that in the game, but there's a lot of like heartfelt kind of like puzzle solving and encouragement to just like kind of be together in a space, which this is kind of like campfire-y sort of stuff that
Let's start this. It's okay. You can put this on the box. It's The Witness meets Peak.
I mean, look, I think like that even that might be watering it down a little bit, but
To me, it looks a little bit more like Skyrim with guns.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Eat your heart out, light no fire. You can put all these on the box, by the way, if you make a box.
I don't think either of those games is like necessarily like an insulting comparison. That's not what I mean.
Do you have like a first like of the friend slap games? Is there one you go to first? Like, oh, I see this one's most like this, or does it feel like it kind of is separate from all of those in a very strong, obvious way?
I think it is separate, and I also think it's because it's a result of like the development timeline that this game sort of took, right?
That
because
sounds right.
I want to say, without any scientific data to support it, I want to say that all of those games were developed, started, and finished within the time that this thing started and to where it is now, where it's almost finished, right?
Feel that way somehow.
Obviously, right? So I think there's like, obviously those game releases have probably shaped this thing as they've kind of come and gone. I think there is a level of like heart that this thing has that that is just resonating on maybe a bit of a deeper level. I think look, I spent like 90 minutes in this thing, and you sort of realize like, oh, there's these challenges that are sort of scattered throughout this world. You don't really know where you sort of are. That I don't know if that changes in the full game, but where the developers kind of took us on this tour was first we're in this area where we're like customizing our little avatar, sort of like people. And
were you
then,
intentionally doing the Macarena in the mirror?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It looked great.
You have like independent limb control, and
Yeah.
you also have the ability to point, and you have the ability to like grab an object and interact with the object. And that's kind of like the palette of like controls you have. And when you talk, your big old honker sort of
Yeah, look at
moves.
that.
That's the
Good.
first
Yeah,
honker
look at
is
that.
moving.
Fascinating.
I like
You were
Yeah.
kind of doing a bushwhackers for a moment too.
Yeah.
You can that came up during this a lot. There's your big walk is a bushwhacking simulator.
Oh
Okay.
my God! Finally.
Yeah.
Also, I'm wondering. I'm already getting terrified at what to expect when we inevitably play this with Kayla.
Yeah.
I think she's just gonna like get us all in shape. She's gonna make sure that we stay
Yeah.
on task. I expect that.
Yeah, I think it's funny because it's like you sort of are. I feel like you immediately get the idea of like, oh, we got to do something stupid. Oh, we got to like immediately like break this thing.
No.
But and again, our hand was being held by the developers who were in this session with us, and they brought us to this first sort of challenge, and that's where like the witness comparison I think is like fair because the challenge, they were very keen on saying like, hey, these are challenges, not puzzles, right? Like, okay, fine, I'll speak your language. Like, that's great, that's okay. And yeah, like I just think you don't really have a lot of like room for like the peak kind of like weirdness. I mean, we're gonna laugh with this thing. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna laugh. I just think there's
But is it like the randomness of like, oh, I ate this thing and then I farted and my head blew up? Like, is that type of thing,
like,
or is it a little more?
I think this is vibrating on a different octave, right? I think that's this game kind of like maybe I don't want to say like tries to take itself more seriously. Not that
It looks very serious. Yeah.
I
thought this was the new Last of Us at first.
But I do think I think there's a much more deliberate kind of like vibe that they want people to feel.
I was gonna
Can
ask.
these characters die?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay. I was gonna ask. Are these? Is this game generally more structured in like the time you spent with it, Jeff?
So I'm just gonna scrub ahead a little bit here.
Sure.
You asked about the structure, right?
Yeah, like versus the randomness of a game like Peak.
Right. So I can't speak to that specifically just because, like I said, we did have our handheld. There's very clearly objectives to do here, right?
Okay.
So you see like spots, points of interest in this islandy kind of area. And then you come to realize like, oh, all these challenges, all these obstacles are interconnected in an interesting way. So obviously like the witness thing, yeah, that's fair to draw that comparison there. What's wild about this game is that, there are boundaries and kind of like lanes that you are forced to stay in because of the proximity chat stuff, but you have tools at your disposal that give you interesting and creative, a creative like sort of canvas of like, how are we meant to communicate? Is it just like flashing a light at someone? Is it sort of just like, firing off these firework flares that are scattered throughout the world? This is the first area we found, and I think there were 8 of us in the game, which is a lot. The game supports up to 12 people, but I do think you have to play with at least 2, and then the game kind of scales up 2, 3, and then at 4 players, that's like the maximum level of like complexity. And
how does that manifest in the game? Like the scaling that you're talking about?
So good example is here, we come to realize like on all 4 of these pillars, there's a switch that we need to all hit at the same time. If there were only 2 of us, there would only be 2 switches that you need to hit. And
now,
then
is there a loosely defined overall goal, or is it kind of like, we were playing that sledding game recently where it's kind of like, here's a bunch of stuff you can do and have fun, but like there's not really a overarching goal, I
don't know if there's more narrative context in the full version of the game, but the thing that we played was kind of just like, well, the only thing that's keeping us going is trying to discover more of these challenges and trying to
what is the reward for those, or what happens?
The reward. So you see that little like red pear-shaped thing in the center of the thing right there. that becomes unlocked when we solve the puzzle. And then you find an area further on where like, oh, there's 4 keys that perfectly fit this thing. And that unlocks the gate that allows you to explore another area. So there is a surface level sort of like kind of, oh, we have a common thing that we need to do. Beyond unlocking the next thing and discovering the kind of like, environmental design language of this next area, there's not necessarily more beyond that from what I saw.
Do you get the idea that like you said it stopped scaling at 4 or 8?
Yeah, at 4.
So
So there's
4.
So 2 there's a level, 3 there's a level, and then 4 to 12 experience the game the same way.
Okay.
So does this feel like too much? If this was a puzzle built for a maximum of 4, is there just inevitably a few people just farting around?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's good because they can relay information, right? So that's kind of how we played it here, where someone had the idea of like, oh, we should all hit this lever at the same time. And then this person in the middle was more like, oh yeah, can you hear what they're saying? Yes, we can. Okay. And then we all kind of count down together and do it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to, because like in the trailer, they definitely show instances where people have split up into different groups, going to different places, and then there's walkie-talkies to talk to one another.
That's
so
right.
Like you get the idea of like, maybe you could have one group going to one puzzle and another group of 6 going to another. And it's like they're kind of occasionally talking to one another. It's like, what progress are you making? Should we meet back up at the place that needs both these keys? Is that kind of thing that you expect to happen?
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And that's something that happens in a few minutes into the footage here where we all sort of collected at this like outlook point that had a telescope, and the telescope was essentially like a fixed-ish sort of area, and we were like, all right, 2 people got to go to the thing this telescope's looking at, and we'll get to there in a second. This was an interesting challenge with a bunch of shape matching. So the person through the window here, I think I just kind of took over and was like, all right, I know what to do.
I've watched the boys play Myst. I can solve this.
I can decode all this. So very quickly we ran through this and it unlocked our little pear friend.
Is that someone's head? It looks like one of those characters.
It looks like a little baby.
God.
Yeah.
Is it a skull?
Someone's
Is it one of their
honker
skulls?
there, yeah.
It's sort of, if you
Don't shake the baby.
I was shaking that baby a lot. You know those Kong dog
Yeah, I was just thinking
toys?
that. If you put peanut butter inside, I got
Right,
some of those.
The dog toy thing?
Yeah,
but
dog
it's
toy.
usually got the hole and you put the peanut butter in there. Yeah,
Right,
exactly
I
like
found one of
that.
those in my yard. Yeah.
So after this, I believe we made our way to this. Oh no, here's another great example of like the game scaling, right? So the object here was, hey, there's that little Kong toy at the top. How do we get this, right? And it wasn't long before like, oh, we just have to stack ourselves. And then I was like, hey, is this going to stack if it's just 2 of us? And that's how we sort of got led into the fact that like the game's going to scale.
Did you get the vibe, Bakalar, that within like a bunch of people you could kind of like break some of the sequences?
I mean, I'm definitely interested in seeing it. You have to have a tremendous amount of cooperation for that kind of stuff too. But
us, of course.
So
as long as we don't have Minotti, we'll be fine. We found that out. He's the bad one.
Now I'm gonna say like we're not breaking this game because if a game is designed to work with 12 people, like that, those things are developed in mind. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to see maybe the kind of shortcuts and the kind of like creativity you can unlock with doing that kind of stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Some respect, Jerf, please. Decency.
Jeez Louise.
Oh
I'm sorry. I just could not stop staring at this person from my POV.
It's very smooth.
Yeah, that was quick.
Confetti.
I kind of like the like almost photorealistic environments with just the very round kind of cartoony
with those cinematic lighting and stuff. Yeah.
Kind of like it.
I was surprised with how good this game looks. Like there's some really good lighting and all that sort of stuff too. It's got a whole day-night sort of sequence as well. So then we made our way to this outlook spot, and we went through this. You sort of realize like, okay, this button does something to where this telescope is looking. You can see that red light in the distance.
See, I love
send someone out there. Okay.
This is the kind of thing that just absolutely tickles my brain of like,
same.
Okay, we can like have a home base here. Someone go out there, like you need to go, and then we'll have someone that can run back and maybe relay messages. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, it's like obviously this stuff. It's just really fun to play with this many people and to kind
Yeah.
of like, there's nothing like from what I saw super complicated in a way where like you're sort of at risk of not having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So everything kind of seemed within the realm of like
Ooh.
doable, puzzle solving. And I wonder like what that looks like 13 hours into this or whatever
Sure.
it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think as big as this map is, I don't, we just don't know how much there is inside of that just yet.
I like this
Right.
little
And these-
amphitheater you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
these kinds of games
concert.
do get lots of updates and stuff like that. I wonder what they plan for that sort of thing, because like Peak eventually started getting like baby no money concerts in it and stuff, and it's it turned into like a mini Fortnite. I'd say I don't know if the vibes are right for that sort of thing, but if they keep just expanding the island or adding new islands, that could be cool.
Give me a different honker or something.
Yeah, there'll be honker
DLC
customization for
honkers.
Sure. Yeah.
On the battle pass.
These guys
Fancy
are almost like
noses.
Rayman adjacent as well.
No,
Yeah,
Jan, no. These
What?
guys are way cooler than any Rayman.
Vector Man adjacent. What about that?
Vector Man's very cool, so I'll take that over Rayman. He's
Okay.
a freak.
Okay.
They're evolved balls 3D fighter characters.
That's
okay,
what
now
it
we're
is.
saying cool
Yeah.
things. Now we're
Yeah.
saying cool things.
Now
Great.
we're back on
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Bakalar, I know the game is called Big Walk, but were there any other forms of traversal? Because this seems like a big island to go across.
No, I don't.
Oh, cool.
This was cute. We were just
Oh, I
like,
love
hooray,
this.
I did it. Was there others? No, I don't think there was any other mode of transportation.
Mm.
It's
So
funny.
no like launching, no catapults, no things like that.
You know what? But like that seems like just by understanding what this game has in its kind of arsenal, I got to imagine like you're gonna be able to do something like that. Again,
Sure.
it's
Gonna
just
work itself up to
speculation,
that.
but like
Yeah.
there's no fall damage, there's no like consequences really. Like I got to imagine like, oh, you're probably gonna be able to throw something or someone.
Get a hang glider. Yeah.
Sure. Like,
Yeah,
given
like-
the pedigree of the developers, there was some like Rube Goldberg style things happening in Untitled Goose Game. So I could see some hidden stuff maybe.
Yeah, like that stuff feels like it's gonna be there in some capacity.
Is that River Blood?
Yes. Weird dark angle to Big Walk is the entire island is powered by a river of blood.
Oh.
So should I assume that this is what a traditional Australian walkabout is exactly like step for step?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Just want to get my understanding right.
This is how Rhea Ripley grew up.
Jan, word for word, I was about to say that fucking sentence. Word for word. Oh my God.
It took me a while to also pinpoint what I think these characters look like. And I didn't say this during the demo because I just didn't want anyone to think I was like throwing shade. But they are all that like water drinking.
Yeah, the water
bird
drinking
thing.
bird with the hat.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They're just
100%.
that. You
Yes.
know?
I don't
Do
have
they have
anything.
There you
those in
go.
Australia?
What's that?
No,
they
the
have
water
those in
drinks
Australia?
the bird.
Yeah, they're
over
called
there.
didgeridoos.
Yeah, the didgeridoo. Yeah.
Man.
Right. So we put all the Kong toys in these keys.
Did you guys have 4, or do you only have 3 so far?
No, we had 4, I think.
Okay.
Right? Am I wrong? Oh, they brought the child swimming. That's why we kept calling it
the way
the
that
child.
looks.
amazing.
This looks
This
so
looks
nice.
Nice.
That looks awesome.
And the really limited HUD and everything. This just looks like a fun
Oh,
hang.
look at him like drowning.
Yeah.
That's me, guys.
Yeah, I commented. I was like, this water looks pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
I
it's
love
good
this.
water.
I remember being like, why would they bring this thing into the ocean?
They're
Very
playing with their baby in the
clearly needed.
ocean.
I think that's George with the bell.
I bet this is when Dib was talking to you.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So, okay. Baby goes in there.
I like
It's not
this
a baby, just to be clear.
weird tech
It might be.
that is like implemented on this island, like this very
Yeah, big ass
analog.
key.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. So now this key gets unlocked, And then like very kind
You
of
have to carry
strange but cool is it then, so there's this key slot you'll see here, and then the key slowly gets sharpened.
Oh.
Oh, interesting.
It's cut, rather.
Oh, so they're cutting the key. Yeah.
Oh, it's like Home Depot.
God, I love the way this looks.
Yep.
It's like if you took a bunch of like Fisher Price toys and just brought them into real life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
there's
were
a
you
lot of
playing on?
that. This was PC.
PC. Okay.
Bakalar, was there like a photo mode at all that they talked about? Because I could see someone taking
Doesn't-
very artsy fartsy photos in this.
Doesn't ring a bell. We
I
could
bet you
ask.
just find a camera. I bet you
Yeah.
get like a physical
Oh,
camera. You have to
sure.
carry it
Yep.
around.
Yep.
So there's a series of key cutting, and then the final key cut unlocked, I believe, an area. Yeah.
Cool. Sunset.
Yeah. I mean, like it was funny because we did this, sort of excursion, and then we went back to like the area that we started in, and everyone was like, let's just chill in here and talk.
I love that you
Oh,
put the
cool.
key like that.
Yeah. Just flop it
Yeah,
down.
right.
I like the idea of doing the interview with the developers just in the game because why not? You're all just hanging out in the game anyhow. Yeah, that's cool.
And it wasn't like gimmicky. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, I gotta go in the game and talk to these guys. Like, no, it just, and I think give them credit. Like, they know what they want and they know what they have. And I think if you're able to stand on that and be like, no, like this is a place you want to hang and you want to be in, like they've realized that, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it works.
Look at the sunset. This looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then we came across this area just to reinforce the theme we were just talking about. We were like, what is this area? And we're like, oh, it's kind of spooky. There's like interesting sounds being played out of these like speakers. And we're like, oh, is this another challenge? Is this another thing? And it's like, no, just a place you can hang out and talk and chill out.
Do you feel like
You're
at
like,
any
oh.
point in this game, there's like even a couple times like, oh, what's this cave? And you go in, there's some sort of monster that fucks you. Like, is there, even as a one-off gag, I know there's no damage or consequence, but
I think this game has like a very subtle sense of humor. Like I could see something like that happening, not where you die, but where you get like spooked,
Sure.
Like,
Yeah,
oh, it's a
yeah.
skeleton of one of these things. Like
some flicks you across the island or
yeah,
something.
or like who knows? But I'm not. I think this is the most like accessible, not saccharine, but like very safe for all ages kind of thing.
Yeah. It feels very
super accessible.
earnest.
Yes.
It feels British.
It's
Well,
Australian.
The
which is-
humor.
yeah,
Are they associated?
they are. Yeah,
Okay.
they definitely are.
Then yeah, it's got that vibe to it. Like the humor
Yeah.
seems that way. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to back up Dan here. Was Australia a prison island for them?
Yes,
Oh.
I
For
think
England?
yes,
It was their Alcatraz?
yeah.
it was the first rock.
Oh my God. Okay.
I think
Gotta find the
earnest is
VX.
a really good way to describe it, Jan.
I'm digging this.
All right, it's like I said, I had a blast, like we had like 90 minutes carved out, and by the end I was like, oh man, like I want to see more of this through,
You didn't
I
become
cannot
better
wait.
friends with them, did you? Like, you're still
Yes.
cooler
Yeah,
with us?
come on, you have to play this with us.
We're actually taking Polygon independent now. That's what
God, I wish.
You're playing with what? Brian Crescente and Arthur Geese here, right?
Yeah, they're still in charge.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think. Yeah.
totally.
Okay.
So this is another interesting like little thing with the radio here. I want to see what else we can show. Yeah, these firework flare things are scattered around the map.
Okay, cool. So that's not like a gun you get, so you could just do it anywhere. It'd have to be a certain spot. Okay.
Right. And it kind of serves as like, oh, maybe, you could tell your party at some point, like, hey, if we get lost, like, let's meet up here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Did
this,
you get
yeah,
any
then this,
sense in terms of like, is this meant to be all done in like a session, or is there some sort of checkpointing where like, let's say we play for a half hour and we want to come back to it?
yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know how like the save someone disconnected.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Yeah. And then like you can bring their corpse with you wherever you go, and then
Oh,
if
hell
they
yeah.
rejoin, they get reanimated.
Oh, you should put them on a raft and just put them out to sea, and then they connect,
Yeah.
and they're just.
We just like weekend at Bernie'd this person until they came back.
God, you almost did the Dirty Dancing lift there.
Yeah, right. And then I think we went to one more spot. I could have sworn. Oh, this was our Q&A that went for a little bit. Let me fast forward.
Such a
I
good
think-
idea to do that in a game.
Yeah,
like
I love
this.
it.
Oh, right. And then we went to one last sort of tower here. Yeah, that's a great question, Dan. I don't know, man. I don't know like how that saving works. I don't know if like you're making progress.
Right.
Just
Yeah, like
a
could we
bit of
play it
a-
for 30 minutes to come back, or is it just like, hey, each one is just kind of a bespoke session?
Yeah, I don't. We asked a lot of questions, and a lot of that stuff we kind of covered so far, but no one. I don't think anyone brought up that part of it. I don't know. I got to imagine what I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, what I suspect is maybe you, the host, carries some level of
Yeah, at the very
progress
least, yeah.
over.
Sure.
Like we got 3
Because-
Kong toys, and then
Right,
Right,
it's
like-
so large that it's just like there's got to be some progression saved as you're
Mhm.
playing. Just looking at this, yeah.
Exactly, right? And especially from this lookout point, it's like, oh wow, like you see a lot of cool stuff out there. Like there's weird antennas that have like
Right.
glowing red lights. There's like, oh, what does this do? There's a ski lift you could see in the distance there. Like
Oh, cool.
There's-
I'm assuming this is all crafted. Like there's nothing procedural about this. I'm assuming, right? Like the
Well,
island is the same
it
every
could-
time.
It could. Oh, you mean procedurally generated each time? Well,
No,
they
Like, it's
probably
not
use
like it's not like Peak where it's like it's a
map.
whole different mountain.
Yeah.
You know, one week to the
Yeah.
next. You know,
I believe it's a fixed map. I'm happy
It
to
seems
add a
that way,
correction here if that's
it
the,
seems
not the
too.
case.
What's the word I'm looking for? Not
Authored?
dedicated. Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Deliberate. Yeah, I mean, it's
Deliberate. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, this was someone, I guess, like went AFK at the Q&A, and they were like, "Where are these people?" And we, after firing off the flare, they realized like, "Oh, they're up there, and they eventually found us."
Is that
But
a
that's
laser
the thing,
pointer?
right? Like, what's that?
That's a laser pointer right there. That person's playing with.
Yeah, someone has a laser, which is great because that'll go, as far as I'm aware, that goes across the entire map.
Oh,
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Bakalar, I've seen people pick up other players. Is there any other like physical interaction with other players?
Not that I'm aware of. Picking them up is about the extent
No smooching.
it. No smooching, no
you
rubbing.
caught me, Grubb.
Yeah, I knew
wait, can
where
the
you
guy-
were going.
That's the other person down there, right? That you're looking at, right?
Yeah,
Can they hear you at this point? Were you guys yelling
No.
at them? Was it too far away?
way too far away.
Are there
Okay.
megaphones, things like that?
Yeah,
I think there
I
are.
think there are like radios that I do believe you can communicate with. Obviously, there's like stuff here, right? But we didn't see like the other side of that or what that looks like. The prox chat, just in terms of like the geography of it, it is pretty small. I did notice that
That's a river blood.
just like from where I'm standing to over, like you do have to be pretty close to someone
Okay.
to really
I mean, that
hear
makes
them
sense. They
well.
want to encourage you
Mhm.
staying close
Exactly.
and then make it feel like you really have to get like you get tools if you want to communicate from a distance. I like that.
I like that this
Yeah.
laser pointer is just a line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It's MS Paint line.
Yeah. Did
So-
you get a date, release date of any sort?
Just this year.
Okay,
Again,
cool.
we can update that if that changes. But as far as I'm aware, the release for Big Walk is this year. And yeah, that's the footage of my of my preview of my gameplay.
Can you sit
here,
anywhere? That
boys.
person's just sitting on the radio. Can you just plunk your butt down anywhere?
It seems like you can. I gotta say, I think that was, I don't know if that was one of the developers or if it was George, their PR. Like they were kind of flexing of like sitting everywhere. They're like, oh, check this out. I'm just gonna
Sit
sit
tech,
on a place
yeah.
that you didn't know you could do. And I was like, I see you. I see what you're doing over there.
Okay.
I see what you're doing over there.
Very cool.
But yeah, any other questions, guys? Or
I mean, this seems
or-
custom. This is the type of thing we are.
Yeah.
gonna
Cannot
eat up.
wait.
I cannot wait to stream this. Get us together, grab some friends. Like this will
Yeah.
be great.
Let's get a full
Yeah.
12. Let's get the
I
whole
think we
crew.
should run a full 12 for the first stream.
Oh, we're gonna run a
that.
full dozen, a full
Yeah.
Let's
dozen.
see what it's like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dirty, the
Mhm.
giant bomb, dirty dozen.
Yeah. The D12. We'll get all the rappers from D12.
Hell yeah.
They'll play.
Yeah.
Rest
Sounds
in
about
peace,
right.
Proof.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was great.
Eminem is just Mike Minotti. Oh.
Yeah.
He has to dye his hair blonde.
He is an Eminem. I've not really unpacked that in a fully. No, I just want to say the house guys and all. It was a really wholesome, awesome time. I appreciate them having us out there. It was good. It was good stuff. And there's Big Walk, boys.
I'm into it.
Cool.
Let's go.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
Hell yeah.